Hello, Republic of Gamers, and welcome to ROG Pulse. My name is Jake Kalinsky, and I'm joined here with Jeff Ketman once again. Jeff, what's new with you this week?
Oh man, we're launching things right and left.
Yeah,
It's Computex week. It's virtual Computex week. So it's been a busy one.
everything from GPUs to now we've got the AMD event on Monday, and with
Yeah.
that we unveiled the ROG Strix G Advantage Edition, which I just got in the mail, and I gotta say it's a beauty. It's a beauty.
Yes. It's our in fact the world's first all AMD gaming notebook for the current generation. Um, Ryzen 5000 series processor, brand new Radeon RX 6800M GPU.
So this is the first system to have that GPU in it, period, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we're
Yeah.
gonna get
And
to
so
try this out real soon. That's exciting.
yeah. Yeah, you've already had some. Jake's one of the first handful of people in the world who's had the opportunity to play with this, which is really exciting.
When the
So
delivery guy delivered this, I just got to point it out. He's apparently delivered other devices to me because we get a lot of there's a lot of in and out of devices in our household, and this guy's like, "Hey man, are you like some serious gamer or something? You get a lot of computers," and I was just laughing, but. Anyways, yeah, so we're looking at Ryzen 9 5900 HX, and then the RX 6800M, like you said, first PC to have
yeah,
that. First system that's all AMD this generation, up to 32 gigs of RAM, and it comes with up to 1 TB of storage. So this
yeah.
is the G15 version. If you're getting the G17, it's a little bit different, but that's generally what you can expect to see. Of course, the displays also have two options. What exactly are the options for the displays on this device?
Okay, so you have a 300 hertz full HD panel, 1920 by 1080, of course, with adaptive sync. So it's variable refresh rate. And we also offer a quad HD or 2560 by 1440 option. And that, again, slightly higher resolution.
Yep.
If you prefer, if you do media editing or stuff like that, need the extra pixels, that's available for you. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, 8-core 16-thread CPU. The graphics processor is built on the latest AMD RDNA2 architecture, which we've already seen in desktop graphics cards. So it has ray tracing capabilities, and it's a beast. 12 gigs of VRAM. 2560 compute, well, not compute units, that's a different thing, but 2560 stream processors across 40 compute units. Just a really powerful mobile graphics chip. So we're really happy to have put this in the heart of that laptop, and we build out around it.
No, this is cool. So
Yeah.
obviously, like, the Strix G is a device that we've already had, but this version is a bit different, being full AMD. With the fact that it is a full AMD system, it does have a bit of an AMD vibe to it. You can see the logo here in the corner, which is pretty neat. The classic slash they have across the device, and then the armor caps are removable on this, so you can get customized. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's got an exclusive look to it on this laptop. That R, I don't think it appears that way on any other system. And I think we throw in a couple more in the box, right, Jake?
Yep, there are 3 total, and
you
can
translucent one.
Yep, translucent. So just kind of gives you a little bit more of a, I don't know, rugged look, in the sense that you can look behind that, and then you just got this nice little chrome one as well. And we actually provide the 3D printing blueprints for these if you ever want to create your own. We've seen people do things for esports teams, or whatever, your own name, your own brand, if you have that, and these work on multiple devices. These are becoming pretty common on a lot of our ROG systems.
I think this and the Scar have them. I'm not entirely sure, but if you want to customize your system with this way, it's it's really quite simple. As you can see, you just pop it off and pop the other one back on.
Yeah, they're very, very easy to deal with.
Which one's your favorite?
I actually like the red, the default. I just
Yeah.
think it works the best with the body.
Mhm.
What's your favorite?
I'm personally really into the translucent look
Oh yeah,
because we're doing that. Some of our, I think the Scar laptops have that translucent finish as part of the palm rest, and I just like
yeah.
how it lets you see inside the.
There's
You've got the
this.
Scar 15 there, right?
Do you literally want me to grab it and put it side by side?
No, it's fine.
Because we can do that.
It's got that translucent finish on the palm rest, and it just looks really cool. I like being able to see inside and have it hint at all the power in there, basically.
So one of the questions in chat was, is there a keystone? There is no keystone on this device. The Scar has that,
the Strix G,
but none of the Strix G.
Not on the Strix G.
You got to get the Scar if you want the keystone. But let's actually flip this over.
So yeah, what's really we already talked about the processor and the GPU, and those are really special. But component selection is just the first step. In a laptop, in a thermally constrained laptop, what you do as far as power, as far as heat removal, all that's going to matter for realizing the most potential out of those components. So yeah, Jake, show us the goods.
You guys thought this was all pieced together nicely. Nope. Already got this prepped and ready so that we can take a quick look inside.
Yeah, zoom all the way in there, man. Oh yeah.
We're going in, chat. All right.
Okay. So what you can see here is one of my favorite details of this entire system. Most laptops use an array of heat pipes to move heat away from the processors, and this system actually uses a copper vapor chamber. And the difference is that whereas heat pipes are each, as their name implies, they're just each a separate liquid filled, I guess oval in this case. They can only move so much heat, and the vapor chamber is actually a 3D structure above the processors, that's entirely given over to transferring heat. So it has greater heat capacity than heat pipes do. And it's more complicated to make because you have to, obviously you're not just bending a tube anymore. You're creating this complicated 3D structure that has to be sealed across its entire area, and then you have to machine it, and it has to be customized to fit your specific application. But we really wanted to get the most out of these components, and so we thought this very special laptop deserved this treatment. So you can see there, we've actually we didn't just stop by making it a vapor chamber. We actually etched the GDDR6 memory chips on there. You can see the outlines of the VRM components. Are cutting a very cyberpunky, cutting edge, cool Easter egg there. Marked the 6800. Marked the 6800M. Marked the 5900HX.
How many devices do you open up that just look this cool? This opens it up and it looks like you're supposed to see this part of it. Usually it's all stuff under the hood that they don't anticipate the average user to ever, view this, but this is gorgeous. It really is a beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty. But yeah, it's functional too,
So we've got we've got an extra slot for the M.2. I gotta zoom out here.
Yeah,
there's an extra slot right here for a secondary SSD if you want that. And
the memory is under covers. I probably don't want to peel those up, but those are both SODIMMs. Those are both socketed. They're not soldered, so you can upgrade the memory if you'd like. Got two of our latest fans in there. Our arc flow fan design.
We've talked a lot about that here on Pulse, where we've gone into depth on the arc flow fans. If you're interested, you can check out one of our past episodes that talks about cooling for our systems, because this is technology that's across the board for our 2021 devices. But Yeah, this is our very first laptop that's using the 6800M, actually the very first laptop period to have the 6800M GPU on the device. And I
Mhm.
mean, I just love the aesthetic on this. Again, it's just fun to
Yeah,
appreciate
right.
what we're looking at here, and looking really nice.
Mhm. Yeah, it's got subtle RGB LEDs. It's got like a light bar around the bottom edge. Um, and obviously the keyboard is 4-zone RGB LED backlit, so you can customize that to taste too. But yeah,
So,
I think I really like the Strix G design and the Scar
mm,
design in general, because it's got just enough of an aggressive edge to make it clear that this is not your ordinary laptop, but it's still stealthy enough that you can pull it out wherever and fly under the radar pretty well. So you can also see, we've got the twin speakers in there.
yep.
With our smart amp design for lower distortion, they've got Dolby Atmos sound processing available if you want to do or virtual surround sound, and you can use those same effects through your headphones as well if you'd like. And a big old battery,
So I think
90 watt hour.
one of the big requests for this laptop was actually to see more use of liquid metal. And if
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
mistaken, this has liquid metal on both the CPU and the GPU.
Yes. Okay. So this is in another first. We've been putting liquid metal on all of our ROG laptops since 2020 for the CPU.
Uh,
Okay, well that's not
2021, I
entirely true.
thought 2021.
No,
We
no, no,
we
no, no.
we
Okay, so rewind.
okay,
Okay,
okay, okay.
2020, all of our Intel laptops
Yes, and then
got liquid metal.
2021, it became all
All
of
of our
our
AMD
laptops.
laptops,
Yeah.
yes, all of our laptops. Um, but until now, we haven't put liquid metal on the GPU. And part of that has, this is the same challenge we faced with putting liquid metal on certain CPUs, which is that, you have surface mounted electrical components. Liquid metal is conductive, and if it flows into those components, it can cause shorts and other unpredictable behavior that might be really bad for your laptop. So
Right.
but we put in the work here for both the CPU and the GPU to cover all that up and make it possible to apply liquid metal to both chips. And so that further enhances thermal conductivity into the large vapor chamber for improved performance.
Very cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. We're gonna
just
see.
look at that thing.
Yeah, some really nice performance increase with that. Just of course, cooling is always the biggest thing that people want to know. What is the sound like? What is the
Mm-hmm.
cooling like? And yeah, that's gonna make a nice difference to pump the cooling, to the maximum. One of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
questions that I've seen in the chat several times is whether or not we intend to make further iterations of these Advantage editions, and specifically, they're asking if we will do a Strix Scar Advantage edition. And to that, I can just say possibly, but there's nothing that we have to announce
Yeah,
right now. You never know; like anything can
yeah,
happen, but we don't have anything to announce right now.
yeah. Anything could happen,
Yeah.
right? Um,
So
but
let's
yeah, I mean, it's a beast. This is a beast in and of its own right. So
when it comes to liquid metal, like what are we looking at for long term? Do we need to reapply it? Like, what do you think about
so
the long term stability with it?
so I would not worry about that. It's a sealed system. So long as you don't take so long as you don't take it apart,
Yeah, and expose it
it's a sealed system, right? Yeah.
because
We've
it is
got those.
liquid, right? It will just
Yeah.
roll right off if you give it a chance.
It's it's not that. I mean, if you really provoke it, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's not like if you take it off, it'll just go everywhere. It's not like it wets the chips, and it has surface tension that keeps it on the chips. But I again wouldn't take that apart. There's a barrier ring in there that prevents it from going where it shouldn't.
hmm
And again, yeah, this is a sealed system, and don't mess with it.
unless you're truly, truly, truly experienced and you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
We never
if
can
you're not,
advise.
yeah, if
Like,
you're not in the mood to reapply liquid metal, please don't. But yeah, it's again, it's not like a traditional thermal paste, where it might be metallic particles bound up in sort of a um, silicone compound or something like that. It doesn't dry out. It doesn't like crack. It shouldn't change state over time. So
I'm gonna fire this bad boy up.
It still boots
without the back on it. Yeah, it'll still boot up. Beautiful mountain range. But this is I believe this is a 4-zone RGB keyboard.
Correct.
I like the clear WASD. I mean, again, AMD is a company that is incredibly plugged into gaming culture. They always have been. ROG is obviously plugged into gaming culture. We have the word gamers in our name, and I think just this nails it. We've got the stickers for the right for double AMD. That's cool to see.
Got that nice big trackpad.
35% larger, or 30% larger than past generations. This is true. It's also Wi-Fi 6 certified. So, you can see my. Using your laptop right after you eat dinner is always the best play to get the maximum amount of smudge on a keyboard or any device. So go me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's meant to be touched. It's meant to be used. So
just kind of, I think there's an Easter egg on actually maybe it's on the actual back of the device. There's a number printed here. It just says 18-15-07-06-06. And I asked exactly what this means, because to me, those are like really random numbers. And I'll be honest, it has something to do with the founding of ROG, AMD, and then our first collaboration that we ever did back in 2006.
Right.
So, which was when ROG started, right? 06. Correct.
Yeah. And the fun fact, the ROG Crosshair was our very first Republic of Gamers product. And that was an AMD desktop motherboard. So, yeah.
Okay.
We've been building together ever since.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's some other, like, we always have like a certain kind of text, like for those who dare is a pretty common slogan you'll see back on top. I don't know if I've seen that one before.
So I had to think about that one when I saw it, but it's true. It's the back of the laptop, and when you're looking at it, it's on the top of the system, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, yeah. It's fun. Like that should be the point of gaming hardware, right? It's fun.
Yeah. They always print. I mean, even underneath the armor cap, there's always like random things printed under there. I think we've had binary under there before. I mean, they love to hide Easter eggs. This one says 4FGC M5. To me, that reads as for the fighting game community, but I don't think that's correct.
I'll have to see if there's a special meaning to that. But we really put out all the stops for the system. I think as far as cooling is concerned, and one of the ways we reward that is that you'll find tuning options on this laptop through Armory Crate that you won't find elsewhere. We have some unique power management. I think there's sliders. Jake would have to tell me, but yeah, you've got some sliders in there that you can play with for total platform power, CPU power, and fan speeds to further adjust the performance characteristics of the laptop to taste. So, so if you're into tuning, if you're into tweaking, the system has options for that, so you can take full advantage of that vapor chamber and the cooling system. And
oh, you know what? It's because I can't put it on manual mode because I'm not plugged into power. I'm like, why are my options limited? That would explain it.
Oof. You're living dangerously there.
I know.
With the bottom cover.
This is how we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Quite a few options here when you go to manual mode, and try to minimize the glare on the screen as much as I can. But
yeah.
I mean, you can see the whole slider here. There's fan speed control, normal system control. I believe you can control the CPU here. There's a separate tab for the GPU, where you get all separate fan speed controls for the GPU. So you really do get a lot of individual control of your system, so that you can customize it to exactly how you would want to use it.
Right. And another thing, if you don't want to tweak, another like platform power management capability that this has that's kind of cool, because it's an all AMD system, is it supports AMD Smart Shift, which lets the GPU sort of borrow some of the power budget from the CPU in games, where again, if you think about a gaming load, the GPU is taking up most of the power of the system. The CPU might not be fully active unless you're doing something like recording your game with X264 or something. And so there might be like overall system power budget available to redistribute to the GPU for higher performance. And so, yeah, again, the vapor chamber is there to just really help enable that kind of power management, power allocation capability.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
I don't know if there's, just talking about the I/O ports, it's got 3 USB 3.2 Type A, and then there's 1 Type C on the back that's also can be used as display port. There's a LAN port and HDMI in the back. So you've got pretty much all your ports directly here on the back. Again, I'm missing half of the case right now, or the actual body. Then you've got your aux port and 2 USB right here on the side. Nothing on the right-hand side at all, so that your mouse hand is, the average user uses the mouse in their right hand. So, yep, you're leaving that nice and open and free. But this is really just, a souped up, Advantage Edition, as we call it, of the Strix G15 and G17. So it's not, a completely new device, but it does feel definitely like this is a celebration for any AMD fan. This is a device for them that just, wants an all AMD device. Guess what? Now you can have it. About time, right? See, it feels that way. Feels that way.
And we haven't talked about performance. We already know that the Ryzen 9 5900HX is a beast of a CPU.
Yeah.
Like I remember, it was like even 4 years, I think, 4 years ago, like having 8 cores and 16 threads in a laptop that wasn't like a gigantic desktop replacement size thing that actually used a desktop CPU, like just for tricks. That was, most laptops were 2 or 4 cores, and now we're, 8 cores, 16 threads. Like that's, it's in a system that thin and light, relatively speaking.
Right.
Like that's just insane. Like how far technology has come in that time, and like gaming laptop GPUs too. Because the 6800M, we're gonna save live performance for tomorrow,
which is we can promote that right now. So tomorrow we will be streaming on Twitch starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on this device, playing Resident Evil Village, and we'll be giving away several copies of Resident Evil Village Steam codes to viewers throughout the stream. So we've got a giveaway while we showcase exactly what this all AMD machine is capable of with Resident Evil Village.
Right.
So
in general though, like just to give you like a sampling of where you can expect things to end up, I'm looking at Hot Hardware's benchmarks, like Middle Earth Shadow of War 1920 by 1080, high quality, 142 frames per second. Gears 5, 120 frames per second.
Okay. So with Resident Evil in the RE engine, I expect it to be pretty similar to those games.
Yeah, right? I think you'll see probably 120 frames per second.
Yeah. Which is honestly, when it comes to streaming, that's pretty much optimal.
Yeah.
Since we can only stream in 60 FPS anyways. So, But this is a 300
yeah.
hertz panel, so like obviously if you're playing a game like Counter-Strike or something, you can really get a lot closer, if not possibly hitting those 300 FPS.
Right. Yeah, and that's the joy of an adaptive sync screen, is that you don't have to be hitting the peak refresh rate of the monitor
True.
to get the most out of it. So it's like, yeah, it's nice if you can push that many frames per second, but because if you think of it as a range rather than like just a fixed figure, it's like, okay, I'm playing 120 frames per second, still smooth and fluid. I'm playing at 60 frames per second, still smooth and fluid, still responsive, still better than traditional VSync. So like it's like having more screens in one, essentially, versus like an older fixed refresh rate laptop where it's like if you weren't running at 300 hertz all the time with VSync on, like the image quality would be worse, and you're potentially introducing input lag and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, the fact that it can do 300 hertz peak is awesome. The fact that it's adaptive sync, even more awesome.
Yeah, that's critical for all these high refresh rate displays nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
So, as always, when we do these brand new product reveal shows where we get our hands on, the number one question in chat, which I have been blissfully ignoring till we get to this point at the end of the show, when and where can I buy it? Well, this is a hard question to answer because that varies by region, and it really it does change, and we don't necessarily have that information for you, unfortunately, I can say. What we can say is that the answer is soon, and I think Best Buy has this listed. Is it pre-order on Best Buy? Do you know?
I'd have to check, but yeah, in the United States, you can find it at Best Buy. I'm actually just going to look right now.
Yep. And I think it's listed for $16.49.
Yes.
On Best Buy for the G15, and obviously there's variables, so you can get different versions. There's different displays. That price may go up or down a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll be able to find it. I mean, I know the timeline again. Soon, this month, Best Buy, $16.50.
Okay, and if you're in the UK or India or Korea, that might be different. Every retailer is different.
Check with your local ROG representative there. Us Yankees only know.
Is Yankee a term used for all Americans, or is that just a Northeastern? Because people always call me a Yankee because I live in the Northeast. This is not appropriate ROG conversation, I guess, but I'm amused by it.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never personally been called one, but that's how I refer to us.
Southerners would call me a Yankee because I'm from New England.
Yeah,
right? New England, New York. Mainly New England, I thought. But anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll again, I think so. Stay tuned. Like we're gonna show off the performance of this laptop with Resident Evil 8 tomorrow.
With giveaways.
Yeah, right. You can see everything in its full glory. Jake, flip it over again. Let's give him another look at that vapor chamber.
That's why we left it open.
Yeah.
Got that nice bright yellow cable because this is literally, I mean, I took this out of the box
it's fresh
hours ago.
Yeah, it's fresh off the UPS truck.
Hey, FedEx. Yeah, credit where credit's due.
Okay, FedEx. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just look at that.
It's gorgeous.
It's quite unlike anything else. I just love the details on it, like the CPU etching, the GPU etching, like it's real cool.
It feels
literally and
custom.
figuratively.
Yeah.
Feels bespoke.
And I mean, cutting edge cool is like such a nerdy tagline, but it's accurate, and I love it. I mean, I exist in that.
Yeah. And again, like gaming hardware, man, it should be fun. Like, if you're not having fun with your gaming laptop or your gaming PC or your graphics card or whatever,
Chat wants to see the memory.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So you get those little shields off it. It is SODIMMs, so they are socketed. You can replace them yourself. Nothing is soldered to the motherboard. So I can see the Micron logo from here. So we're only using the very best Micron.
But yeah, for 1650, I mean, this is an insane price
Yeah,
point in my opinion
yeah.
for what you get, the amount of power that you're going to get in the GPU and the CPU. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
you're lucky to be able to buy these kind of components for a desktop nowadays. But then you
Hmm.
can order a laptop like this for less money than you'd pay for a desktop of this caliber, or a GPU of this
Hmm.
caliber for a desktop, an aftermarket, which is unfortunately the
Right,
world we
right.
live in.
Yeah,
And you're getting a 300 hertz display, CPU and everything else with it. It's insane.
right.
It's like,
Yeah,
this is the play right now. These kind of laptops,
right.
if you're looking to get a gaming upgrade in your life, I mean, I'm sounding like a salesman right now, and I've always been like desktop life all the way. But
Hmm. Hmm.
seriously, like, if you're in the market, this is insane.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, again, the amount of power that you can get in a gaming laptop nowadays, just it's really advanced by leaps and bounds. And we haven't talked about this, but like that 90 watt hour battery in there isn't just for show. I think most sites who are reviewing it have seen like 10 hours of like web browsing
Wow.
battery life out of the system. So this isn't, I mean, it's not just a gaming laptop. I think a common misperception nowadays is like, oh, it's a gaming laptop, therefore the battery life must be, um,
These performance
let,
modes
let,
make
yeah,
all the difference. And
right.
with Armory Crate, we make changes these performance modes to be like the easiest thing you can imagine,
Right,
where
right.
that's when it comes down to min-maxing your battery. And again, we were showing off the manual performance mode a little bit earlier. I don't want anyone to know my secret Windows login password because but like, this, you got Windows default here, you've got performance mode, you've got silent, you've got manual, and you've got
Hmm.
turbo for
Hmm.
gaming, and all these things are really
Right.
going to help you manage your battery life.
Yeah. And like again, well, I mean, this is an awesome time to talk about scenario profiles because it's like, okay, well, if you had to adjust all of this manually, right? I mean, it would be a chore, right? Every time you launched a game, if this asked you to like, oh, well, if you're gaming, well, you have to switch to your gaming profile. Oh, if you're like working in Photoshop or Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or whatever, you got to switch to your video editing profile.
Mm-hmm.
We make it so you don't have to do that because scenario profiles monitor what you're running at any given time and let you configure all these parameters like the fan speed, keyboard color, the display color settings, all this stuff, so that the system is constantly adapting to the way you use it and optimizing its setting its performance for those tasks. So yeah, I mean, you don't even, once you have a set of Armory Crate configuration parameters that you like, you can just save it to a scenario profile and say, okay, this is my gaming scenario profile, or this is my Photoshop scenario profile, or this is my web browsing profile, or whatever.
That's the true power
And
user play. Like, it just
yeah,
makes your life so
right.
easy. I'm not organized like that, so I just boot up Armory Crate, and then I choose my settings right here.
Yeah.
And there's also just a lot of, you think about owning a laptop. A lot of people that are gamers are going to utilize a mouse with their laptop. They're
Mm-hmm.
not going to use a trackpad.
Mm-hmm.
Just a pro tip for anybody that's never had an ROG laptop before. A lot of your tools are just right here. Touchpad, boom, it's off. Oh crap!
Yep.
What have I done? This was a mistake, and now I can't use it. Luckily I have a mouse on hand. Wow, that was
I think there's is there a hardware key to turn it on and off up in the
there
little upper
probably
left
is, but
corner?
I'm not gonna figure that out right now.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Careful. You get too much power, and you never know what'll happen.
Right, we're back.
You get too much. Give folks too much power, and you never know what will happen.
Yeah, there's definitely a button for that, but
Yeah.
panel power
Well,
saver mode you can turn on, and that turns on
mhm.
automatically when you're not
Right.
plugged in. So that's gonna make sure that your display is using less juice, and those are all things that are just automatically there. But Armory
Right.
Crate really does make things easy, and I find it to be extra nice on laptops.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, getting back to the battery life though for a second, like 10 hours of web browsing and Wi-Fi from a gaming laptop,
That's really
again,
good.
unheard of,
Yeah.
until like last year with the G14. And so now, like, if you were like in the old days, if you were like me, you would have thought, oh well, I need a set if I want a gaming laptop, I need a separate gaming laptop and then like an ultrabook kind of thing for those times when I want battery life. And now you can, you don't have to have multiple systems. You don't have to have a weird flex like that. You can just take this laptop. You can just take this one laptop. It's got all your gaming hardware in it. It's got your 300 hertz screen, powerful GPU and CPU, and it's just as it has just as much longevity for the daily laptop tasks as it does for, or as a smaller, thinner notebook from just a couple years ago would have. So that's just another huge advancement in gaming laptops.
One of these days, we're going to do a show where we show off my 5-year-old Strix laptop. That is, we're just gonna we're not gonna shame it, but we're just gonna show how far we've come, just a side by side. I'm gonna set that up real soon because that thing, it's got a 980M in it. It's still doing good work. I don't even know what CPU's in it. It's ancient, but yeah, no, we've come a long way. We've really truly come a long way. And the fact that in a 15-inch laptop you can get a 10-hour battery life with this much power to pretty much game whatever you want. Pretty wild. Any final thoughts or any things that we might not have gone over, Jeff?
No, I mean, again, it's just an awesome time to be a gaming laptop buyer.
Yeah,
and this right here is proof positive. I'm really, it's really cool to be able to take all AMD hardware, wrap it up in a, again, essentially purpose-built internals. And really unleash the potential of those chips. So
I don't know what else.
I'm envious.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can have it next if you want. We share all these laptops, but I'm holding on to it for a while. That's for sure. Because again, guys, I just want to plug it tomorrow on our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/AsusROG. I'm going to be gaming. I'm going to be playing Resident Evil Village for the 3rd week in a row. Loving this game. It's really good. So there might be some spicy content coming in. There's already been some pretty spicy content. I know Jeff's been looking away. He's like, oh, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be giving away 5 Steam keys of Resident Evil Village, courtesy of our friends at AMD and Capcom. So don't miss it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. So make sure if you don't follow our Twitch page, go to twitch.tv/AsusROG. Follow our Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, follow our Twitch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it here for our show. We will definitely do our best to keep you updated. Follow us on social media if you're trying to figure out when these are going to be dropping in your region, because the answer is soon, but we don't have the intel for you. 1649, the starting point for this all AMD monster. Guys, that's going to do it here for ROG Pulse. We will see you next time. Take care.